it's advisable as they get older to teach them about car safety. As your children grow older, their relationship to car safety will change in regards to different seats which they have to sit in, the way the seat belt's adjusted, and various other aspects.
Well, we've got all the car seats and all that stuff. In fact, we've got 3 spare ones in the boot now, because often I bring my 5-year-old daughter in, and like now we're taking Sienna home, and at first I didn't have the extra spare seats, so that was my first concern. So we went out and we got all the spare seats, which now live in the boot when we've only got one child.
When thinking about car safety, what you should ensure is that firstly you've got the right seat that is appropriate to the weight of your child, and make sure that it's not in the front seat. It's important to check up on the latest thinking of car safety. There's websites you can go to make sure you have the appropriate car seat for your child.
I don't let them sit up the front at all.
Seat belts, obviously, make sure your children are not on your lap when driving in the car. Even though you've got the seatbelt on, it will make no difference at all. That is a definite no-no.
Yeah, always wear your seatbelt whether you're in the front or back.
To help your children to be aware of car safety, the best advice is to start talking to them as early as possible about car safety and being responsible on the road and personal safety in the car.
We let them know they have to have the seatbelts on. We use the old-fashioned phrase, the policeman will tell you off if you haven't got your seat, which is sort of true, but we say that to them to remind them that the policeman tells them off if they haven't got the seatbelt on in the car.
She always used to be on about wearing my seatbelt and not driving fast and stuff like that, but it was just general information.
The basic essentials you can teach your children about car safety is firstly to wear a seatbelt on every single trip that you have, and secondly not to distract the driver.
Just kind of explain to them, obviously don't go into debt. Just going to say, right, it's not safe to, scream and shout when mummy's driving, because it stops her from concentrating. She can't do 2 things at a time.
The sort of things you can do to keep your children entertained so they're not distracting you is perhaps put their favourite CD on. You can give them word games, how many yellow cars they can see, how many red cars, that type of thing that will keep them distracted and entertained while you're driving. It's very important to be a role model when it comes to car safety. You could be a role model for your children regarding car safety by firstly you always wearing your seatbelt and impressing on them how dangerous cars can be.
It wasn't so much when she was learning to drive, because she's with somebody who's qualified and experienced, so that it's not the learning to drive, it's once she's passed her test, she's got a car and she's gone. And yeah, I was terrified, and every time she got somewhere I made a text her, I will confess, but you do slightly learn to chill out, and you still got that fear in the back of your mind, but you just have to shut down like with everything else.
So general things you can teach your children about driving themselves is firstly to be safe. Wear their seatbelt at all times, not to drink and drive on the road, to be aware what's going on around them. If they happen to go in a friend's car, to make sure, again, safety first, that they're wearing their seatbelt, their friend's wearing their seatbelt, and that the car is legal, and that their friend hasn't been drinking any alcohol.